You're live, Samantha.
Okay, greetings everyone from Facebook. We are live. And if you are ready for this session, I want you to get together your pen and paper because for sure you're going to need to write down your life story. So just thinking about your life story and how you want to use it to connect with others. So take the time to do that now. And I'm excited to be here and get into the slides soon. And then if everybody's coming in on Zoom, we're getting ready for you. And this session is called Sell Your Story, Stay Authentic. So we have a lot of different things going on, whether you're on social media, you're joining workshops, different things you want to know how to properly sell your story. Greetings, greetings, everyone coming in. I love to see the people joining. And I want to get a feel of the room. Let's see who, if you're a business owner, drop a 1 in the chat. And for those coming in on Zoom, I said, get your pens and your paper ready. So that way we know if you're a business owner, this is going to be a great way for you to learn how to connect with your audience. And then if you're just, standing by, this is also a great way for you to know who to connect with online because there's so many different options you have. Just like you're here with Wake Up Everybody virtual community because you resonate with this audience and resonate with what's presented. You want to continue to do that so you don't get lost in this social media world. Okay, so we have 2 business owners so far. Just in the room. Greetings, greetings, everyone still coming in. Has anybody been ready to share their life story and not too sure how to do that? Because I'm going to give you some information about how to do so. Greetings. And do you have your pen and paper ready? Because you're going to write some things down, some life-changing experiences that you may have already overcome, and you're able to then help others through your life story. Is anybody afraid of being on camera? Because I can speak to that as well. Sharing it through visual representation video. Because that's one of the most, ways people connect now through video. And we're live. All right. And soon we'll do the intro. And I'm a content strategist, visual storyteller, brand photographer, brand videographer as well. So that's where my background comes in from.
Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning. transforming. We're striving together, together. We're leading, connecting, transforming together, together.
Okay, it's time for everybody to wake up and get ready to hear this information. Again, my name is Sam Renee, and I am the owner of a More Creative Agency. And through my process and my journey of entrepreneurship, I originally started out working with everybody. But through that process, I realized that I enjoy working most with women in business to help them figure out how to connect their story to their offers and that way build the audience. And with building that audience, then you can use that to generate more leads and increase sales and awareness about your business. So, as we go into a highlight video that I created for you all, I wanted to share why I created this project, which is called Drop the Cape, Pick Up Your Crown. And as you know, women in business, they tend to believe they have to do everything themselves and they want to wear the cape as Superwoman, but they need to learn how to drop the cape and pick up the crown. So I created this series in order to help women really understand the power of releasing all of the thoughts that you have to be the one and only running everything. So I wanted to go ahead and Kenya Fu share just a snippet and we can get an example.
In order for women to really be every single thing that God has created them to be, we need to move out of our own way. I get to the root of what's going on. So you can tell me whatever it is you think you want to tell me. I'm not playing with you. That ain't it.
And then I needed support on client work because I couldn't do everything. There's only 24 hours in a day, and I'm not Beyonce, even though we all say we got the same amount of hours in a day as her. But she has a really big team around her who support her and allow her to do the things that she does. And I'm grateful that I'm in a place now where I do have a full staff of 12.
One thing I don't have a problem doing is failing. And you have to be able to fail, and you have to be able to fail good when you're an entrepreneur. And saying that is that, no, you don't go into things thinking, oh, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to make it. But you have to be able to make a mistake, figure out what worked in that mistake and what didn't work in that mistake. Don't repeat the mistake, but then try again.
I expose myself to expand myself. It is a difficult mantra to live by, but I'm the best at telling my story.
And if you're interested, you can watch the full series on my Instagram page, A More Creative Agency. But just like, the last statement from Coach Shawnee, you're the best one that, excuse me, can tell your story. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the slides and give you the breakdown of how you can do that.
Women.
Thank you. Banu, thank you for joining. Okay, Kenyofu, you can go. Yes, Coach Shawnee was there in the flesh sharing her story, and that's just a great way to help, knowing that my audience is full of women who need to understand the power of letting go all of the control. That was a way for me to share, my story through sharing other stories. So, what is a story? If anybody want to come in and help me out here and share what their perspective is, you can raise your hand and we can get some assistance. But we want to go into what is a story and what everyone's interpretation of a story is, or you can share it in the chat. But I'm going to get into this here. So just, basic definition, a story is an account of imagery or real people and events told for entertainment, or an account of past events in someone's life or the evolution of something. And your story is based on your life experiences. Your story is your own personal journey that has molded you into who you are today in this present moment. So sometimes the stories that we for ourselves keep us, stagnant, and then sometimes the stories we create for ourselves help us go ahead and move forward. And so, has anybody been waiting to share their story with others to connect? Because if this is the time, I would like a participant to come up and I can help you through this.
Nobody has their hands raised. I do see Banu has a wave. I'm not sure if that was a wave as in hey or as
I think he was just clapping.
clap.
He
Okay.
was just clapping. It's okay. All right. Well, we're going to warm y'all up and see if you're ready to share anything a little later. But we can go
You know
on
what?
to the
No,
next one.
no, what we're going to do is we're going to call Banu up.
Oh, okay. Well, call Banu up.
Yeah. So I'm asking you to unmute.
Well, Z said, look at God. This is the next step in my journey. Okay. Well, now you have the information to get you all prepped and ready for it.
Peace, peace.
Peace, Banu. So this is actually a great friend of mine, and thank you for joining. And so I know who you are, but just give us a little spill about what you're doing up next, and I can help you kind of understand what it is, how you share your story.
All right. Oh, y'all about to bring me on video. Hold on. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that, but
Well, listen, you go with the flow. You go with the flow.
You're here. You have to be prepared for anything.
I'm in here. How y'all
Okay.
doing?
We're doing great.
Well, my name is Benu. I'm from New Jersey. I'm an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Among other things, but my story is I'm trying to put it together in words that can be relatable to my audience and trying to figure out who my audience is and who I'm speaking to. So I'm pretty much in the stage of trying to organize my story in
Yes.
a way so that I can present it, so that I can start moving forward on
Connecting.
my mission. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Okay, well then, since you're just getting started, pay
Right.
attention to the slides and what I'm speaking to you all, because it's definitely going to help you shape that and start getting your mind going, start brainstorming and being able to put it all together.
Appreciate you.
Of course, reflect it. Okay, so hit me with the next slide, Kenyofu. All right. So now you want to get into why is it important to do visual storytelling. So being able to share your expertise in a way that's going to be able to not be direct selling, especially when people are just scrolling social media, or they're checking out your website, whatever the case it may be. You want them to feel connected to what it is that you're doing. You don't want them to feel like, oh, this person is just trying to sell me all day every day. They want to feel like, okay, this is a person that can actually help me get from point A to point B. So that's a great way to share your expertise, show up, and become that person that the audience can know, like, and trust. Now, similar to what I just did with my most recent project, Drop the Cape, Pick Up Your Crown, you can either create content on your own or you can curate content. So when you're doing it from your own standpoint, that's when you're actually sitting in front of the camera and you're speaking from your perspective. But then you also can curate content by then pulling the stories from others or pulling content from others. And then that way, especially if you're just starting to share, content, it takes a little bit of the pressure off. But when you're curating, you can have people that share the same message as you, and you can share that valuable information with your audience as well. And again, you just want to go back to being relatable and valuable. If they don't find that within your, storytelling and your visual representation, then they're not going to feel. They might, scroll past your information, check it out on whether it be on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You want to make them stop and feel like, this is the answer for me. And then, especially since the pandemic, there's been a big increase of online viewership. And mostly, I believe the statistic is about 78% of people prefer video over just static images or blogs and so forth and so on. So video content is most definitely the most popular form of content that is being consumed at this point. So is anybody, in a stage where they're creating content and they have any issues with creating content? And I would like to be of some of assistance. And let's see if we have any participants. And don't be afraid to raise your hand, join in, share any comments. Is anybody, okay, so we have Gina here. Gina, I would love to hear what you have to say about sharing your story.
Okay, good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
And so I'm starting a business and
Okay.
I'm not a person who shares content or creates content or, I'm not a fan of social media,
Mm,
but I do understand that in this climate, you need to use it if you want to be
right,
successful at all. Like you cannot just, it's not personal, it's not my personal life.
right.
But I also understand that in creating content to share, you do also have to have some authenticity, or else,
Yes.
nobody's gonna watch those videos or trust you or want to go into any business with you. So that's where I'm standing right now with trying to get comfortable with being
Okay.
on camera and making videos, and creating content so that I can
Yes.
promote my business.
Okay. So you already know the importance of it. So we don't have to go into that, right? But what you're saying about getting comfortable on camera, that's something that I see a lot with my clients, and they're like, "Oh, I have to be on camera. I have to be on camera." But what you want to start doing is just like, practice for yourself with information that you're not even going to release at this point, right? So if you're in the beginning stages, that's a great way to get started. So whether you're just, want to speak in general just to get in the flow of speaking on camera, or you want to actually start sharing some of your expertise. So give me an example of something that you'll be offering within your business once you get started.
Okay, so this Saturday is my first event.
Okay.
We it's a business. The point of the business is to help transform racial trauma by
Okay.
using arts and different healing modalities. So we're going to an art gallery, and we're
Hmm.
going to have we're going to create some art. We're going to have a tour of the gallery. Then we're going to create
Okay.
some of our own art to help process some of the trauma from the art that we're going to witness and the experience that we know. It's about Black Wall Street, so we know that was very traumatic.
Right. Right.
So we're going to do some art about that, and then we're going to have a meditation.
Okay.
By a meditation person, not, I have a person that's going to zoom in and lead us in a meditation to sort of wrap the whole thing up. So
Okay. So you
someone
have a
created a
lot
beautiful,
of
right.
great things going on that can be able to, like you said, transformation and healing within that space. So if you wanted to go ahead and let's just say you want to do a little small promo video, right? You can start off by telling a story of have you a story at the top of your mind that had an experience with your own racial profiling.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So then what you do is you take that moment, if it's not too heavy for you, you want to stick with the stories that you've dealt with, especially just starting off. So that way it doesn't feel too heavy to actually get through that story. But you share that story, and then at the end of it, you invite the others who may have had a similar experience and invite them to your event. So you still have what? A good 5 days before your event is happening. So it would be a great way for you to be able to go ahead and share a story, right? Because you already know it. Like you said, the authenticity is already real for you. So you can share that story and then invite people to your event because they can then, transform and heal that for themselves as well. So thank you for
Okay.
sharing, Gina. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. I
let's
just
go
have a
ahead.
question, if you don't
Yes.
mind.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
how long should this story be? Like, how quick, how long?
Really, I would say no more than 2 minutes.
No more than 2
no
minutes.
more than 2 minutes. Really, if you can get a snapshot down in 1 minute and then have the invitation at the end, that would be great. But being that you're just starting off, I would say at minimum, you want to like really make sure you get into the feel of this story. People are emotional beings, so you want to get into that feel of it and then have the invitation at the end.
Okay. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Sam.
You're very
Okay.
welcome.
Okay.
All right.
You looking for somebody else or not?
Is there any more hands up? We can get into someone else for sure. Is there anyone else who would like to share? There any hesitations around creating the content? Because I can give you the blueprint, the script for it all, but if you have any hesitations around creating it, we have to release that blockage as well.
I'm gonna, if I might, I've been taking a storytelling class and I have been putting some things out there, and I'm fighting my internal conversation, but
Okay.
yeah, so that's my contribution.
So you said you're fighting your internal conversation that's keeping you, is it keeping you from creating the content, or you're not sure what to speak about when you, like, where is the blockage coming from? What is that conversation like in your internally?
It is, who am I to say? Who am I to say?
So you feel like is it you feeling you don't have the expertise to speak on it? Is that?
No, that's not that. It's
Okay.
it's, I don't know, it's like crossing this line, the line of the combination of asking, like sharing myself, asking for something, and having the other person, or being in the mindset of knowing that the other person would be looking for me to give them the answer. So I know I could provide the answer, but I have to get them to know that I can provide the answer.
Right, right. So let me ask you something. What was the last thing that you purchased, like a service that has helped you? Like some type of a service, was it like a foot massage, or getting something done, helping you start? Oh, you said the storytelling. Matter of fact, let's go from the storytelling class that you said. How did you go ahead and become a part of that class?
Oh, I heard the person speak. They told a nice story.
Right, right. So they told a nice story and you related to that, and I'm assuming that it was, yes, I need to learn more about storytelling.
Yeah.
Right? So now, would you have just went upon yourself to join their class if they didn't ask you?
No.
No. So that's what we have to release, that, like, people are not mind readers. People don't know, so you have to tell them directly. They're not, just because you share a story, they're not going to assume that you have something to offer. You have to let them know. And just the same way we make purchases from other people, we have to do the same thing, because somebody invited us into their space to purchase or attend, just like we are here in the Woo community, right? So make the offer, Kinyofu.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to be reaching out to you. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Okay. I did see something pop up in the chat. Could I be too authentic through my story, like sharing too much information? And I would say that's really up to the individual. And just kind of like I mentioned to Gina, right? So a story that doesn't feel too heavy and that you already overcome is the easiest story to share, even though you might, still bring up some emotions from it, but that's going to be the easiest one to share because you've already been through it and you're not currently dealing with it. If you're already in a space of constantly sharing, sometimes it's easier to share whatever is going through. You could share what you're going on right now. You could share things in the past, what you're expecting from the future, but it's all about the individual and what you feel comfortable with. You don't want to start, storytelling with something you don't feel comfortable sharing. And I hope that helped, Banu. If you have a additional question about that, feel free to raise your hand and I can assist you more. All right, well, you're welcome. Okay, so let's get into the next slide and give these people some more information. Let's have this conversation. So here's where it all starts. And I did see Z saying that she's at the beginning stages. So this can most definitely get you that strong foundation. So when you begin storytelling, you want to have what's your mission and your vision. So the mission comes from discovering what it is that you want to do, and the vision is where you want to go. So we'll stay there for a little bit. So deciding what you want to do, if I can reflect back on the campaign again, drop the cape, pick up your crown, it was my mission was to have these women who have been, in business for a while. Some people hitting 20 years, some people hitting 15 years, and really show the women who are in the beginning stages, maybe haven't started yet or between their first 3 years, of saying, hey, it starts off rocky, you start off doing everything by yourself, but it doesn't have to stay that way. You can hire others, you can have independent contractors, you can delegate tasks so that you're not doing it all alone. Now, within the vision, where do I want to go? I want to see, some women really actually understanding that this is something that you can do and doing it visually to help them connect with that information better. So through my social media pages, sending information out through my email, letting them know like this is a vision I'm trying to create for us all so that we are actually not only the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, women of color, we're also, creating sustainable businesses. So without that information, you staying in hustle mode and you're doing everything alone, how can you create a sustainable business? So that was my mission and vision. Now, it's the main reason that you want to create this is again to have the foundation. So if you ever get lost, you're feeling stuck, you can always go back to the foundation. And having your core values is being able to say, whether something is trending or whether you're getting some type of advice from someone else or whatever the case may be, you can always reflect back on your core values to know this is what I expect from myself, right? And then the tone, right? Create a specific tone so that when people come into your space, they know what to expect. It might be a serious tone. If you're dealing with something similar to Gina, like racial profiling, that's a little more, on an emotional side where it's a little bit heavier. We have to deal with the realization that there is a lot of racial profiling that does happen. So maybe that's a more serious tone that's created in that space. But if it's more so about, how to have fun on a daily basis and stay in the present, maybe that's a little bit more lighthearted. So create the tone that you want and people to expect. So when they're coming into this space, they know what to expect. Now, is anybody, have a mission that they're working on and they want to now share with others and connect with others? And you can do that by showing a raise of hands. Is anybody commenting from Facebook have any questions? Go ahead, Banu. We can bring you on up. You're on mute.
No, I was saying I didn't have a question. but
Okay.
I was just raising my hand because I'm setting out on a mission that I want to share with others.
Okay, because you're setting out on a mission.
Right.
Okay, yes. So make sure you make it, plain and clear how the mission that you're on, and then have the vision of what you're looking to create as well. So as you're on that mission and leading yourself to that vision, you have the foundation that you need.
Right.
All right. Anybody have any questions around creating your mission and vision statements? Because I would love to share so that, again, you have that foundation, because that's super important.
So it sounds like it's call upon somebody time.
Sorry?
It sounds like it's call upon somebody time. I'm going
Okay.
to choose somebody for the audience. So the only person that identified, someone had, okay, who had, looking for who said they have a business. Not very many people put one in the chat. The one person that we haven't heard from that put a 1 is Z. Z, would you like to come off of mute and share?
Yes, see, you're in the beginning stages, you said, and we can, get through some things and maybe help you get started out on the right foot. Okay, there she is. Give us a little intro on what it is that you are looking to start with your business, and then we can go into your mission and your vision statements.
I'm in the beginning stages, and simultaneously I'm a veteran.
Okay.
I've done a variation or a version of this work in the past, and
Okay.
I've been away from it for quite some time. So I'm coming back to it with a little bit of change of direction.
Okay.
So my mission is to primarily help. I'll help anyone who I can help, but my focus would be on mostly women who are in a similar place to where I am. I am a grandmother.
Okay.
I have been for many years a storyteller.
Okay.
But I have not performed professionally in probably 2 decades.
2 decades. Okay.
And I'm recently the matriarch of the family.
Okay.
And that's a place I'm still wrapping my mind around. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm the matriarch.
Yes.
But I am, and I have to be. And it's important for me to do it well for the sake of my progeny, my family.
Yes.
So that's where I am, and I know I'm not the only one in that place.
Right.
So that's my journey, and I'd like to work with other women, ideally business women or entrepreneurs who are also in the same kind of space. So that's my mission.
Okay. And what would you say you want out of what it is that you're looking to do? Are you looking to just connect with others? Are you looking to have payments where you have something you're selling? What direction are you looking to go? Is it just building community, or actually building an offer that you want people to pay for?
Well, I've been fascinated with marketing for a while now, and marketing is kind of the way folks make their money. They have to get out there, and helping doing it for myself and helping others do it as well.
Okay. And is that going to be in form of like a one-on-one session, a group session? How is it that you would like to facilitate that?
I'll probably have a few one-on-one clients. I
Okay.
have several different marketing tools to help to implement the
Okay.
actual marketing. Sharing that some people will want to do it themselves, want to learn it so that they can control it. Some people
Yes.
want to focus on their business and let somebody else do it. And that's where I would come into offering the service of doing the marketing, being like the marketing consultant.
Okay.
So yeah.
Got it. So what you can do is share from perspective of, like we were just talking about, authentic sharing, right? So share from the perspective of where you've been a veteran, like most of the time, the areas that you already have perfected, right? But then humanize yourself and let people know, like, okay, well, I'm the now matriarch of my family and I'm still wrapping my head around that. So you don't have to come off like, 100% perfect, like you have everything all figured out all the time. You can grow through the feelings that you're having that may have you feeling like, okay, well, I'm trying to still wrap my head around everything. So you can share your story about, what it is that you're going through and the different things that you already have done, and then wrap it up with, now I can help you market your business or your story in the same way. But you humanize yourself by sharing where you are now, right? And just letting them know, like, I'm still figuring some things out, but I have figured out XYZ. So that can help you with, sharing your story more and having that mission, connecting it to the vision, and going with it, testing it out. And that's the biggest thing I'll share as well. You have to just test it out and see what works. It's not like you just start sharing online and then all of a sudden all your clients and everybody need, you have to test it out and see what works for you and your audience and see what they feel like. Okay, yeah, Z really helped me when she shared that story about, becoming the matriarch of her family and understanding what that means to her, and still working through it, because I'm still working through, trying to figure out my journey. And that's how people can be, relate and connect to you. Do you have any questions, Z? Or are you complete?
At this point, I'm complete.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. I see Teresa Scott has her hand up.
Hi, peace and blessing. Thank you for being here, sister.
Yes.
I do several things. I am a grant finder, a
Okay.
knowledge broker, and I advocate people. And I also just started I have LLC called The Rise of the Unknown Hero.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how to, um, like, I did a video the other day, and I was really proud of myself. What I was
Yes.
trying to figure out is like how to get it out there. I've been doing the stuff that I do for years, so I know how to go about doing it. What I'm trying to figure out is like, I think the video will help, but I just feel like okay, like with the knowledge thing is like the main thing is like what I do with the knowledge broker is that I'm able to say if you said, Teresa, I want to hire you, to be the knowledge broker. I like I have a skill where I can find information to assist you, so you don't have to stop and do that part.
Right.
So that part that I don't know how to, like what do you call it, sell that part, and I do very well. So like, say you, Teresa, say you said, oh, Teresa, I want you to find stuff about how children deal with stuff with dealing with abuse, whatever, and say that's a subject you learn. I know how to find information, and so what I feel that I have is that it will allow you to still do what you do, and you won't lose your productivity because you don't have to look for the information. So,
Yes.
I have that gift, so I know that I can do it, and so I know when I do it that, whatever I do, that whatever information you need about it, I'm gonna have it. And so, what I'm trying to figure out is like how to, um, sell that part of me. I know how to do the grant finding, and I also am an advocate. I know how to I know what to do about that. But just trying to get that knowledge broker part of the business out, and the name of my company is
I
called
love that.
the name of my company is called The Rise of the Unknown Hero. So what I would do with that is that I also recently created an NFT. I really haven't gotten that out, so that's another thing I work on too.
Mm,
But what I would do is that with that business, that I would showcase people in the community who are not heroes, who people don't know that are heroes. You know, like so, like you were my unknown hero. Like I will like do it like kind of like you said, like a marketing point, like to get you. I'm sorry, to get you
yeah,
exposed to the community, get
right.
you exposed to the
So
community, so people know, like what you do, and and actually put you out there, like get you exposed out there, because I just feel like there's so many unknown heroes on the rise out here in the community people don't know about. So be like an
right.
exposure one also.
So
So
from
my
everything that you shared, right,
yes,
you
ma'am.
have a few different things going on. But
Mm-hmm.
the main part that I heard you say and what resonates is you want to help the people that don't know how to do it. That's where you start from. So you share those different stories of different people that you've already helped. Like testimonials is a great way,
Mm-hmm.
with storytelling, to be able to
Right.
say I helped um, one of your previous clients find grants because she needed to make some additional changes within her business,
Right.
and now she's able to do so, right? So similar to the woman I was talking about in the beginning, right? If you're at the beginning stages, you think you have to do everything on your own, but then you come in and you let them know, you alleviate that from them. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have to do everything on their own. So if you're speaking to that from the basis of letting people know the results of
Mm-hmm.
what it is that you do, and then touching on the connection points where people are able to say, wow, this is what I need because I need to stay productive, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you come from those two spaces, and that's where people will be able to see you as the source to go to. So whether it's the unknown heroes or the knowledge broker or the grant finding, within
Mm-hmm.
all of that, but you just have to have a clear message, and maybe even try to figure out a way that you're not yourself sharing so much that it becomes confusing for the people within your audience. So maybe
Right.
breaking that up into different pages, or finding a way that you can connect them all together. So maybe the unknown hero is one of your previous clients, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you have your clients giving out information of people who they believe are unknown heroes. And you could say, this came from my client such and such, and I wanted to highlight this person. So whatever it may be, either creating a separate platform or having somewhere where they can all intertwine, so that you're yourself not doing too much at once.
That sounds really good. Thank you, sister. What's your name?
You're very welcome. Sam Renee,
Hey,
in the
Sam.
flesh.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Appreciate
you're
you.
very welcome.
Thank
You're
you
very
very much.
welcome. Thank you for sharing. And then we have Veronica. Can we take Veronica?
Good morning, Sam Renee.
Good
As I was
morning.
listening to you speak to Teresa, I wrote down the 3 areas that I would like to create a story that I could post, that
Okay.
is um, not too long. So, okay, so my 3
Okay.
areas, I'm a quilter, and I
Okay.
also create ancestral images.
Okay.
So I'm not creating them, I'm helping someone create an image of one of their ancestors. And
Okay.
so they're actually making the clothes. And then I'm working on a survival book. But my
Okay.
2 questions that I have are, how long should the draw be? Like, for example, if I'm going to post something, how long should it be?
So right now,
Mhm,
within the climate and everybody attention span,
mhm,
again, like I told Gina, no more than 2 minutes. You want to try to go for the one, because what
mhm,
it is you're using like social media, email marketing, the different tools to give them a sample, right? And
Right.
then you want them to say, this sample is enough to intrigue me so that now I want to check out your full offer, right? So you're just sharing little tidbits because that's how people are consuming the information nowadays. Like they're not really interested in watching like a full long video unless they're already a part of your community. So just to start bringing in that awareness, start short form video,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And
So
what,
then,
let me ask you, what platforms are you considering sharing on?
First of all, I'll tell you, I'd like to be able to do YouTube videos.
Okay.
And I have a video, and there's one video that I did. I did a talk in Barbados on the ancestral images.
Okay.
But the video is very long.
Mm.
But there are there's snippets of the video that I feel would work. Is it possible
Yes.
to use an already created video, or do I have to watch it and recreate it?
Nope. What you want to do is you take those snippets out, excuse me, take the snippets out that are powerful and you share those. And then again, you have that call to action at the end to either download something, sign up for your email list, something small that they feel comfortable going ahead and taking you up on the offer. And then once you're in, you building that community and it's solid. And then once you offer them, one of your services, they'll be more likely to take you up on it. So take those snippets out and share them.
Okay. Do you have snippets that I could watch? Where are you? What are you on? Like what?
So I'm mainly on Instagram. So
Okay.
a more creative agency. So you can see it at the end of my name here on Zoom. A more creative agency on Instagram, and that's
More
where you can
creative.
find
Okay, so I'll see that.
some snippets. Yep, for sure. And then even, I don't know if you were on at the very beginning.
I
Did you see
wasn't.
the video? Okay, so you missed the
No.
video. So that was just a short form version of the longer form videos that I did. So you can, but for sure, you can go on my page and just get some examples of what a quick snippet looks like.
Okay, and so now you're telling me that it's possible to pull out a snippet from an already existing piece.
Yes. Yep. It doesn't have to be, you can, what it's called is repurposing, right? So you already have a video created. Now you can repurpose it by taking out the smaller snippets and sharing those powerful moments.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to get into the next slide, but I see somebody from Facebook. Who is my audience? Getting used to speaking regularly has been helpful for me. I am learning to speak clearly so that others can understand. I am preparing to ask for what I want in a clear way. So discovering who your audience is, you're going to have to do some, and that's from Sweetness from Facebook. You're going to have to discover, who it is that you need to connect with. So just like, I know I primarily work with women in business. So when I'm speaking to them, I'm speaking in a space of, I'm a woman in business myself. I know plenty of other women in business, so I share their perspective. And that way, the people from my audience, they find what I share valuable. But if you have to kind of figure out who it is that needs your offer. And then once you figure that out, then you start doing the market research. I can share later on. I'll post in the group a resource that you can get started with that for those who are just getting started, and find and create your avatar so you know exactly who it is that you're speaking to, and then your messaging can be clear and helpful. Thank you, Sweetness. Okay, Sweetness came over to the Zoom space. Thank you for coming over. All right, so we're going to get into it, right? How do you actually map out your story, right? So you can, depending on what it is that you're offering, you can go all the way from, the beginning of your life. different things that, created who you are today. And the life-changing experiences, you can start from there, and the things that you've overcome. And then you can start from the present moment, what it is that you are now. So anybody ready to map out their story, need a little bit of help, guidance, and we can use you as an example of how to actually map out your story. By a show of hands, come on in and let me know. And I'll give you an example. I have a client who does, she's a mindset growth strategist. And I asked her, like, how did you actually start your business? And when she went back to thinking about it, she said, through her trade, which is property management, she will always have the tenants coming in and sharing their life stories about how they can't, pay the rent or something happened and this and that. And she would coach them through that by just having a conversation of how they need to, work on their finances and so forth and so on. And she realized that that's where it all started. That's where she realized she can actually help people. So it could be a similar situation from you, something that, somebody is always coming to you for advice, or someone always asks you to do a particular thing, or something that you probably find so simple, like I can braid hair. And there's so many people who are like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, it's simple, but it's simple for me. But for others, it's like, I don't even want to look at somebody's hair to braid it. So just think, if there's anything that you do, and you're looking to share with others, kind of think back, like, what are those life-changing experiences? What are those pivotal moments? Okay, we have Banu ready to share. Or were you just raising your hand again, Banu? Let us know. Unmute yourself.
Now, I wanted to
All
share
right.
this time.
Okay.
All
So
right.
let us hear it.
Okay. Well, I started a business called the Melanin Express card.
Yes.
And basically what it is, it's a card that taps on the people's phone and opens up a hub to different links. And one of the links I have on there is a coupon business that I'm starting that's kind of like Groupon. So the reason I started it was because I was working at Collinswood, which is like an auction around our area where like a bunch of different vendors come out and sell their products. So I was going to open my own booth out there. And my issue was I didn't want to focus on one product to sell and worry about if that was going to be enough to pay the booth's rent. So I got the idea to sell the experience that I wanted of having my own store in the auction to other people that were in business that already had products. So like I would just have them be in the store and offer them, and they would pay a percentage of whatever the rent was to be in the store.
Right.
So from there, I just took that idea and put it onto the coupon website to make it more physical, so that it could be basically it would extend my reach from just the auction to wherever the card would make it. So
you
that's
can
the
have
story.
multiple vendors.
Right.
You can have multiple vendors, and that's a key point that you said, right? From your own experience, that was something that you wanted to see based on what it is that you already experienced. So now you created something from your experience. So that's how it could happen, right? You see something, you see a need in the market, something that you want to experience, and you're like, okay, wow, well, other people need to experience this too. So as you're sharing about the Melanin Express cards and coupon, then you're able to say, this is why I created it, because I didn't have this experience. Yes. So thank you for sharing that, Banu.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Is there anybody else that has like a life-changing experience that maybe has them considering starting to share their story? If you haven't done so yet, but you're even considering it now, share with us today. And if you're not ready to share yet, maybe by the next slide, you'll be ready to share.
Hi, this is Teresa. You
Yes,
just
Teresa.
gave me an idea. I've been doing the knowledge broker for years, and I have plenty of people coming to ask. When you were saying about getting a story, like I also do the advocacy. So I was wondering, like, how could I combine the two of them together, since they both have to do with finding information for people. It's like, that's what I was just trying to think how I could combine those two, because I know how to do for the grant. I
Mhm.
know what the grant finding thing, but I just was trying to figure out how to combine the advocacy and the knowledge broker together, as a single service, because in doing the advocacy, I do get information also. It's
Okay.
just, it depends on the people that, like say if I was advocating for you, say you had you wanted to find you had a child, and
Mhm.
had a child that was let's say disabled.
Okay.
I would find like all the resources and all the people names of who you need to contact, and like the order in what you should, contact the people to get the help,
Mhm.
like the command or chain, how you should do it. So, because I
Okay.
have information to both of them, being a
Got
knowledge.
it. So what I would say to you is it's all within your messaging, right? So you want to make sure that you're having the same message. So if you're advocating, make sure it's advocating about, grants. Like somebody can't find their own grants. But give me 1 second, because I do want to acknowledge that it is almost 8 a.m. And if anybody has to hop off, I want to thank you, for joining us. And if you're going to work, you're starting your day, have an amazing day. And this session will be available for replay as well. So, but yes, Teresa, you want to make sure that your messaging is 100% clear within what it is that you do. So you don't want to, just like when you first named everything from the knowledge broker to the unknown hero to the grant finding. If you're going to advocate for someone, make sure, and you want to kind of connect it to the grant writing, make sure it's maybe it could be for disabled people who are in business, and maybe they don't have that voice that they need to represent for them and stand up for them to get the grants or help them write the grants and find the grants. So maybe you can do it from that space, but just make sure if you're going to combine them, it makes sense so that your messaging is clear.
Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. All right, can you up? Well, Shawnee has her hand raised. Step on in.
Good morning, beloved. This is so great. Just thinking about what you
Yeah.
just shared with Teresa, and this is something that I deal with every now and then because I am involved in different spaces and have different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like Woo is one of them, Be the Tree. I do reproductive justice work. I do anti-racist work as a consultant and a trainer and coach.
Yeah.
So, just thinking about what you just said is that I had to really hone in on what my offerings were. And sometimes because there's so much going on, I'm very conscious of not oversaturating people with information about what I'm doing because they get lost in it. So,
Yes.
I have to focus on, like, think about who my audience is in the moment and focus on what my pitch is for particular people. And when folks want to partner with me, like really focusing in on how I can partner with them because I have so many skill sets and gifts and because I have so many offerings. So anybody in this space who is like me, and Sam, you're like me too, just being
Yes.
mindful of that because it can dilute the message and really make it difficult for you to get the business off the ground if you're have your hands in too many pots and don't know how to
That's
communicate it well.
100%. That is 100% true. And thank you for driving that home because, just like you said, I'm also, a music artist, right? And I also love to paint. And I also, love to just help women in general. So if I'm not just, creating their content, just connecting with them and sharing life experiences, but if I'm trying to do all of that at one time and my messaging is not clear, people can get lost at, okay, well, what do I take her up on? So that was a great point to share. Thank you for that. All right. So we want to make sure that if you have any questions, you're raising your hand, engaging, and so that we can get you some information. So can Yofu please bring up the next slide? Everybody seems to be getting some good information, sharing, and I love this because other people's story and questions that they ask can also, help those who are standing by and listening in, right? So if you're going to share your story and do some storytelling to connect with others, you want to plan to be consistent and provide the value, right? Because people are making these decisions off of people who they know, like, and trust, right? So if you become that source, it's going to make it easier for people to then connect with you. So people within the marketing space like to call the connection points, well, I call it connection points. People like to call it pain points, but I don't like the connotation of thriving off someone's pain. So I like to call it connection points. And what that is when you can speak directly to something that someone may be going through or they need help with, and they see you as the source. So you connect with them off of how you can actually transform and take them from point A to B. So if it's somebody who's saying, like, Teresa was saying, they don't know how to do it, you speak to them about how to do it, give them little, points, and then they can say, wow, yes, this is something that I can actually, get the transformation that I'm looking for, get the value that I've been looking for. But don't thrive off of, connecting with people's pain. Do it in a positive way through connection. And I saw Z said, yes, she agrees as well. So you make them connection points. And once you continue to do that, that's when they stick around, right? And then people are emotional, right? So whether it's like happy, sad, you're thirsty, and you're looking to buy some water, you're doing that because you're ready to quench your thirst, right? So you're like, yes, I got it. Emotional buy, right? Because you're thirsty. You've been walking around, especially the heat is coming. So that's how you make that buy. If it's, you're going through a healing journey, and you want to live your best life and really connect with your best self, that's an emotional. If you then sign up for a coaching session, that's an emotional purchase right there, because you want to go ahead and have that transformation. And then be a reliable source. So don't be out here, sharing information that you can't really connect with, or you heard from somebody else and now you're sharing as if you're the expert. Be a reliable source so that you can become the go-to. Stick within what you know. And then if you're going to go ahead and share and from somebody else's point of view, just make sure you let them know, I found some great information I would like to share with y'all, and I think it might be helpful. But don't go ahead and pretend that you are this person. So become that reliable source, the person that people want to go to. All right, next slide, please. And now this is where I want to stay for a little bit, right? So staying authentic. And I kind of alluded to it from being the reliable source, right? It's easy to get caught up in what's trending, what you see other people benefiting off of. But then the issue is if you go into it trying to be someone else or trying to come from a perspective that you're not ready to speak from, right? So you want to remember, you start small with the audience, whether it's 5 to 10 people, and they become your, very basic foundation of your audience. Then you can start with them, and then they'll help you learn and understand what it is that your audience needs. And then you go big from there, right? Now, your story is your story only. Nobody can change that. You're the only one who can change that. No one can tell it like you. And you have to own it. And that's the way that you actually get to speak from the perspective like, okay, I went through XYZ, and now it's time for me to share this information or offer up this information by way of providing a service. And like I said, it's easy to get caught up in the trend. So is anybody having any issues with staying authentic, or feeling like if they did share, they can't share from an authentic space, any blockage in that area? And I encourage you to raise your hand if you have any questions about that.
All right, Anna Palmer.
Anna, I would love for you to come on. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone. So
Good morning.
I was considering putting information on my journey in battling my health challenge of leukemia. And I know, but my concern was everybody's body is different. So if I give this information of what I did to get into remission, and it doesn't work for the other person, or they have an adverse reaction to something that I was using, am I liable? Or, I don't want people to feel like exactly what I did, they're going to have the exact same effect. So how do I communicate that? Do you understand what I mean?
Yep. I was just making sure you were complete. So with that, especially within the health field, that's a very touchy subject, right? Because just like you mentioned, something that works for you might not work for others. So when you're sharing that, you're not really giving any medical advice. So you can share what worked for you, right? And then even if you want to go as far as adding a disclaimer, like, I'm not a medical professional, I'm just sharing my experience, consult with your own physician. That might be the best way to go about it. But are you trying to actually create an offer where they're actually paying for a service, or are you just building community?
Well, I wanted to build a community because leukemia isn't really a people of color illness. We tend to have more sickle cell. So we might not even know too much about that illness.
Right.
So I wanted to share that information. I was going to promote certain products that I used.
Okay.
And so that's what I mean. Like if I promote a product that I used and then they buy it and it doesn't do the same for them, can they hold me accountable?
Nope. Like I said, you want to make sure you add that disclaimer and drive home the fact that this is what worked for you, right? Say, I'm sharing because I want to let you know this is what worked for me. But you don't, especially within like I said, health medical field, if you're not a medical professional, you don't give the advice from that space of, for sure, this is going to work for you. You have them consult their own doctor.
Disclaimer, do you put it in writing, or do you say it like at the end of your vlog or
yeah, that's what you can do. So you can have just like at the bottom of, like, say if you made a YouTube video and you're sharing the full story and everything, right in the information section, I should say the description section, just write that in there. And you can look it up on Google as well. Like they have like disclaimers already for different health advice. You let them know you are not a professional. This is what worked for me. Continue to consult your own doctor.
Medical.
Right? Because you don't want to get caught up in, like you said, somebody making it reliable making you reliable for an adverse reaction to something that you recommended, right? You sharing what worked for you, right?
Right.
And you can also, as you're building the community, right, other people can give their perspective as well. So they might say, like, this worked for me, right? And now the people within the community, they have multiple different things that they can start thinking about, and maybe make an option from that once they're figuring out what will be best for them.
Right. Thank you.
Right? You're
Yes,
very
thank you.
welcome. And then we have some things in the chat, some people with some support for you. Is there anyone else who would like to share about sharing authentically and having your story be relatable?
I'm moved to call on Sweetness. Sweetness came in from Facebook. Would you like to share?
Yes, Sweetness.
Grand Rising, peace and blessings. No, I had nothing to share.
Well, I wanna talk to you for a second, right? Because you were asking who's your audience, how to create a message that's clear. So are you already in business? You're looking to get started? Where are you?
I am not in business.
Okay.
And I was I put that out for the community. That was told to me when I was beginning to write a book. It was suggested for me to share my experience, my thoughts and ideas, writing them down, and so I'm putting it together in a book.
Okay.
The journey is my goal. So not so much focusing on the arrival, however, the process of getting there. So I put it out there for the community, that knowing your audience. And what I've been doing is, while I'm in the car, I just start talking. I don't turn on the radio as much, and I start talking as if I'm giving a pitch, or as if I'm starting to do a presentation. You know how you speak before you do the presentation. You just talk a little bit about yourself, maybe a joke, an icebreaker. And so I started doing that in the car to become more comfortable with speaking and also hearing myself.
Yes, I love
That's
that.
what I put in the chat. That was it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
No, and thank you for your energy. You your energy is sweet. It's very sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sweetness too. I got some sweetness in me too.
I see.
Thank you. Yes.
So who's speaking off of mute before? Did you want to share?
Sahusby. I haven't seen her in a while. Yes, come share with us.
Girl, your name had me fooled for a whole week. Okay. Good. I just direct message showing like, that's the same Samantha went through Be the Tree because it's the same Renee. I'm like, just a whole week I was looking. Okay, so let me enough time for that. So greetings, everyone. Good to see you, sister. Nice. So yes, I keep going through this piece of, I have 4 areas that I specialize in, or the people come to me, right? And it's like, how do I brand it down to one? Or I don't really want one. I want to do all my gifts, right?
Yes.
And so I am, like, next week, Monday, I'll be on Zoom. And I'm like, which one do I want to do? This is the thing. So how do I really work that and be great in everything so I can really serve people better? That's but still be my authentic self, because they kind of overlap.
Yes. And listen, I think that's something as creatives and business owners and people who are, like, multi-passionate, we all deal with that, because even I myself deal with that, right? So I would say, what's at the top of your heart? Like, what do you feel like you have to share right now? Is there anything that is pulling you right now, right at the top? And even though those others, still live within the space of who you are, is there anything that's really pulling you? Or are they all tugging like
Yeah,
pick me?
it's like when I start, if I start with my reflexology, then I might end it with my emotional freedom tapping. Like it's like if spirit comes and say, okay, give this person that, then it's like, okay, yeah, but I'm working on their feet. So you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like figuring out. So when people see me, it's like, oh yeah, I know her. She's the singing healing hands artist. Okay, yeah, but I went there for emotional freedom technique. Okay, yeah, well, I went there for reflexology. So it's like, how do I, you know what I mean? It's like that. They're all there. It's like, do I have
Yeah.
to separate them? How do I do that?
Yeah,
That's
so
what I
you don't
struggle.
no, you so here's the thing, right? If it's within the same space, right, and you can share it without the confusion, right?
Mm.
Then you share it, right? So in this space, I'm not about to start rapping and giving y'all some of my bars. It's, I'm in this space, I'm going to share the information, helping with the story. It's not the proper space to really share in that way, right? So consider the spaces that you're in. So if you're just having a conversation and you're telling somebody, your different interests, they can pick out which one, they would like to take you up on. But if it's a particular space where you're going to share, be mindful of the space that you're sharing in.
That's
That's all.
great.
So as you're storytelling it and you're sharing, be mindful of the space that you're sharing in.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you. That made sense to me.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right. Yes, I am multi-passionate. And as Shawnee said, I love that term too, because it is what it is. We can't, block our other gifts just because we have like one main one, or one that we want to actually, create abundance from, financial abundance from. We can also just figure out, and it may be, maybe you don't want to get financial abundance from all the areas, because I'm not looking to become the biggest next rap artist and have a bunch of funds coming in from that space, but it is something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy sharing myself in that way. Now, anybody else will love to share. I would love to hear some other perspectives by raise of hand.
This is a space that you can come rap, sister. We would join right in. We're
Oh, y'all, okay. Well, listen, if y'all wanted to hear some bars, I might drop some another time because I wasn't prepared, but I have them. So you have to consider your audience that, yes, 100%. And you have, well, I believe that was Sweetness. You have to consider your audience at all times, at all times. And this is where it's fun.
Can we hear from Jacqueline? Perhaps?
Yes.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, come on in.
What you got going over there?
Oh boy. You know what? I came downstairs because I knew you were going to want to talk to me. And I was like, no, Kim Yofu better not do it. She better not do it. Good morning. I'm basically, I'm listening to everything that's going on because I have created an LLC. It's called Hope 7 Enterprises. And my focus is to deal with young women who are transitioning from high school to college.
Okay.
And also to deal with young women who most likely have experienced some trauma in their life, because this is the space that I'm coming from. This is who I am. And so currently I'm in the Landmark, I'm in a program in the Landmark community or network, and I have completed the forum and stuff like that. So I'm just an introduction leader training right now. Okay. And so I'm trying to hone my story because my story is complicated and my story is long. And so I've been struggling with keeping it to under 3 minutes. You're talking about 2 minutes. I'm like, how do I do that? So I was looking at what you said about connection points, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take all of these slides that you presented. Yes. I screenshot them, and I'm going to work on my vivid share from that perspective. And it's just a matter of being effective. I really, my whole aim is to be effective and to draw that population that I am, focused on to me. Because I'm writing my dissertation and I do need participants in my study. So I know eventually I'm gonna have to go on social media because I'm not getting it by word of mouth.
Right.
And I'm going to have to create this video and share my story vividly and have people, come to me and join in the study. So there's a few spaces that I'm in that I can do that. But right now I'm just working on it within the landmark community and trying to get that together so that I can be, I'm always authentic. That's not an issue. But I want to be clear and concise. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get too flowery and talk in prose. I can go in the literature way and just start speaking in that manner and using, all these colloquialisms and cliches and things like that. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to make sure that I can be plain in my speaking so that people can completely understand where I'm coming from. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't know what the Yoku was calling me for because I thought about other people. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to offer you because you said like your story is long, right? So that's the thing. So that's actually a benefit because now you get to take a moment. You don't need to tell everybody your whole life the first time you talk to them. As you're building an audience, and that's why I said, you can start literally from the beginning of your life and then to the present, and in between those, there's millions of moments that you could speak from, right? And you tell that one little story, right? So you hook them in, you tell, the challenge or the struggle you overcome, and then give them an offer. It could be a comment, right? Invite them to comment, invite them to sign up for an email list, to watch a longer video, maybe where you went into more detail, but you don't use that, oh, my story is too long, as something that's, negative or a challenge. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I've been writing it down. I've been trying it different ways, writing it down and just trying to figure out what is the most important or the most pertinent. I won't say so. They're all important, but what's the most pertinent information that I need to share in 2 minutes that can do exactly what you said.
Yeah. So just a small one moment. And then you say, watch the longer video. If it's something that you have to get off your chest and it's a little bit more longer, or you want to, somebody did offer up going live, right? So you start with the hook by just a small little promo video for it. And then you have the live video where you could get into more detail. But having that story, if it's already long, you break it up into pieces, and then you have plenty of content and plenty of things to talk about to use those connection points that I was speaking about and help your audience.
Okay. So between this and Landmark, I should have it together.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Anybody from Facebook saying anything? I would love to.
Yeah, if there haven't been any comments dropped, if there were anyone from Facebook that dropped here. How about Noelle? Noelle, are you able to speak? Noelle.
Noelle. Is she coming up?
No, I don't think so. She's not responding.
Well, listen, thanks everybody for sharing thus far. And I believe I have one more slide left that we can pull up. Right, so let's get a little bit techie. Mainly what I've been speaking about is just from the perspective of, sharing your story. So whether you're, getting on camera using your smartphone, or you hire a professional, or you actually have your own, maybe a DSLR camera, that's where you're going to start at using it. So Don't get caught up in, oh, I don't have the funds to hire a professional or anything, because people are making some good, valuable content right from their phones, right? Or especially if you're using a phone, you want to make sure you have some good lighting, right? So as you can see here, I have this light just to create a nice vibe, but then I also have a light that's on my face as well. So the light behind me doesn't become like, too much or too distracting. So make sure you have some good light. Now, if you don't want to use any artificial light, of course, using the window and using that natural light source is a great space to use as well. And then your sound, right? So be mindful of your surroundings and what's needed to provide or able to deliver your story in a proper way. So if it's a fun, light-hearted story, then maybe some extra noise in the background is, okay. But then if it's more so a more serious, or the tone is more focus on healing and things of that nature, you want to make sure it's like nice and quiet and make it able for people to understand you to deliver your story properly. So those are the three main things you want to be mindful of when you're actually starting to create. And I saw some comments coming in. Okay. Yeah, so does anybody have any questions regarding the tech part of things? Setting up your camera, getting on camera, the lighting. Anybody have any questions surrounding that?
While people are forming their questions, I'm going to read the chat.
Okay.
So you made reference to the chat, and people on Facebook are left flat. They don't have the connection there. So Jacqueline says, true to Shawnee. Okay, so Shawnee said, there's a saga in here. Shawnee says to Jacqueline, if you keep calling it complicated and long, it will be that. What is your attachment to the story that makes it long and complicated? Trim the fat. And Jacqueline responds, my attachment to it being long is a constraint. I'm also multi-passionate around my life experiences.
Yes. So just like I, said earlier, share in a proper space, right? Don't think that you have to pick one or the other, Make sure, but again, like she said, staying away from distractions help me stay focused. And that's important as well, right? So don't get all lost and caught up in trying to do too much at one time. So if it's something that's more prominent and you need to, share that and connect with others on that, you start there and then add little tidbits in at one time. Oh yeah, Teresa said we could all collaborate and get our stories out in businesses and kickstart that. Catherine has her hand up. Come on, Catherine, is she?
Yes, I wanted to say that for me right now, I decided that getting the book out was extremely important because I want to be released to do other things. And so what I've said to myself is I'm not gonna make any appointments and commitments to do other things until I keep my word to myself concerning the book. And so it's a little challenging and painful because of the content of it, the story. So and I know that. So then I know what I need to do to stay on track, right? So I have people in place to help me with that. But that's what I wanted to put out into the community, is that so my birthday is May 12th. And I said by May 12th, how many other chapters it is going to be. I would like it to be 5. However, giving myself a time frame and saying that my reward to myself would be to be free. And oftentimes for us in this community is to be free, to be of assistance to other people. I think the majority of us are servants. So to free myself, I had to commit to myself and stay focused and be honest with myself. So that's what has been extremely, extremely valuable for me on this particular journey. And I wanted to share that with the community.
Yes, very much so. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Anna was saying, so the beginning is just an intro to build curiosity. Should I make a different version of it? Yes, so when you're thinking about drawing others, your audience, from one place to another, you can, especially with platforms like Instagram, you can share a short version of it, right? Just to get them interested, hook them in, and then say, go watch the full video on YouTube or from your website or within a course, whatever the case may be. You start off small because that's where the attention span thing comes into play. So you start off small, short video, capture the interest, and then the more they're interested, the more they're stuck around, and the more they'll be willing to watch longer videos or take you up on your offers. And so I have one last invitation via slide. Can Yofu, if you can pull that up for me? All right, so the last thing that I want to share is here's your invitation. If you've been thinking about sharing your story, if you've been thinking about connecting with your audience more, you want to do that by being authentic, right? And sharing from your real perspective that you can speak of, and connect with others, change someone else's story, right? Their outcome. Maybe they, need to heal in some type of areas. Help them connect with their story and change it for the better. So if anybody has any final questions, I would love to share. And that is the end of my slides.
Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you.
I just tapped in to something else by talking with you, and it just reminded me of how I could take the stories, and that's why I asked Z, Anna, and Jackie, could we all collaborate, because I can actually use all the things that I do to assist them in getting their business out. So
Yes.
thank you so much for this. I love our Wake Up family. I just love you, and I love you too, since you're part of
I
it
love
too.
you.
Back, sister.
Yes, reflected. Thank you for sharing.
Jacqueline puts in the chat, great point, Catherine. And she's speaking to when Catherine Sweetness was speaking online. I received that. I committed to a program that I believe may help me meet my objective, which is to complete the dissertation. I'm finding it to be helpful in getting that integrity around honoring my word to myself and helping me to hone my story. But now I'm beginning to feel that it is demanding more time than I want to give. The last word to be honored is the one to myself that I want to honor first.
Yes.
And so there are thanks to you.
Yes.
And
I'm 32 years young. It's so cute. That's funny. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all for sharing. It was very pleasurable to share here with you all today. And can you let me know what's next?
So I don't see anything happening in chat or any raised hands. So I will pull up the closing slide.
All right.
Tell us about your special offer.
Yes, so everyone here in the Wake Up Everybody virtual community, I have a special offer for you all. If you're looking to go a little bit deeper, dive a little deeper into your own story, I do offer up a strategy session that is at the discounted rate of $50 off. And if you want to go ahead and secure your spot, that will be available for the first 10 people only up until April 30th. And you have the information is copied into the chat where you have the clickable links to go ahead and sign up if you are interested. Mhm. And if you're looking to connect with me, especially, like one of the ladies was saying, an example of the snippets, I have plenty of different content that I've shared on my own page. Like I said, mainly I'm on Instagram, and you can find that at A More Creative Agency on Instagram. But then clearly here, I'm also on Facebook, Samantha Moolah Moore. That's my rap name. If you want to see me drop a couple bars, I do have some freestyles, bunting. And then here's my email address as well as my website that you can go on. And I would love to connect with some of you ladies. And I also share a lot of different information, about branding and marketing and different tools that you can use as well. So whether you're looking to tell your story, market, promote, you can find that information on my page. And at this time, if you found this valuable, we do have love offerings and donation. That information will also be in the chat. You can find, under Zelle or Quick Pay to the email or Cash App at Spirit of a Woman. And there's my special code there, 568SR. And then we have some more information.
Oh, okay, so here's all the ways that you can donate, and you can choose to donate on a monthly basis in addition to donating directly to the facilitator. And if you, the options are $25, $50, $75, and $100 each. Amount has a separate link, and the link is always https://bit.ly/woolove. And the number following it would be the number that's listed here, 25, 50, 75, 100. That too is dropped in the chat. So you can click on and not have to worry about the funds. Do this when it's convenient for you.
Okay, and so for the next 2 days, we have Stacy McLean coming in to share with the community. And on Wednesday, she will be sharing tomorrow, Autism Awareness Wednesday. And then she will also come back for part 2 for Autism Doesn't Have a Look. So 2 days with Stacy McLean.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, so I'm assuming that there's some new members in the space. I saw a name or two that I didn't recognize, and so I welcome you. I thank you for being here today. I ask you to come back tomorrow and the day after and the day after. But that's not it. I'm going to also ask you to say that you're new, like to acknowledge that to the community so that you can be welcomed officially by the community. We would love to say, hey, nice to meet you. So drop it in the chat, drop it in the Facebook, wherever you are, first time newbies. Thank you for joining. And so I mentioned about coming back. Everybody, would want to know the schedule. So Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we're here from 7 to 8:30. And Monday and Wednesday, we're here from 7 to 7:30. Those are our shorter days. We're always on Zoom, and we're always streaming live on Facebook. And here's a benefit, something else, a tool that you can use to help you get here, wake you up. We have a text alert system. So if you open up your text now, if you're not already on this text alert system, if you open it up and type in 74121 in the telephone section, and then the word Woo Nation in the comment and press send, then you will be put on this system to receive the message via text every morning that we're on. And so we have swag. And if you don't have yours, now is the time to get it. You would go to bit.ly/WooSwag to see all the juice. And we have mugs and thermos. We have a laptop sleeve bag, a journal, shirt, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and masks. So go there, see what there is, choose your size, choose your color. And we ask that you register every week, because every week we have a new lineup. When you register, you'll be put onto our email list. And on that email list, you will receive who's speaking, what they're speaking about, their bio, and anything else they would like to share with you. You'll also be able to receive any news that is happening within the WOO community during that week. So every week, go to bit.ly/wake up movement, get your name on our list, keep it on our list. And we have 2 Facebook pages. So right now we're streaming live to our private page, and you can go there to catch the replays. But first you need to be a member. To be a member, you have to go there and fill out a little form. bit.ly/WOO community, and somebody will approve you, and then you can speak to your peoples. We also have this public page. It's a fan page, what's called a fan page, and you can like it. bit.ly/WOO Nation. WOO Nation is uppercase, and click like so that if any comments happen on there, any post happen on there, you'll be alerted. Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. We have YouTube, bit.ly/WOO on YouTube. Our email is info.wakeupseries@gmail. And you can drop us a line to say what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work, or that you would like to volunteer. So that's our slides. I'm going to ask each one of you to unmute yourself so that we can give Samantha a love shower for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Samantha. It
Thank
was
you.
very
I
informative,
love
and I
you,
know you
Samantha.
started.
But I need to focus up this morning. Wake up. Wake up
Helped
this
me a
morning.
great deal to
Thank you,
stay in the
Samantha, for
process of
waking us
snippets,
up.
and I will get in touch with you. Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
La la
Kenyofu
la
and
la la,
Shawnee
whoop,
and
whoop,
everyone that's
yes,
here. Thank you.
Samantha, whoop, whoop, yeah,
Yes.
la 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 la,
Thank you, family.
Have
Love
a
y'all.
wonderful
thank
day.
Appreciate y'all.
God
thank
bless
you,
you,
Samantha,
Samantha.
so good.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.
Peace
Mwah.
and love.
Love
It was a
y'all.
pleasure. It
Thank
was
Love
a
y'all
you.
pleasure.
so much. Love you, Kenyofu and Shawnee. Y'all rock. Woo, yes, y'all do. I love y'all. Appreciate
Wonderful.
y'all. Love y'all, family. Mwah.
Thank you so much, Sister Samantha.
everyone.
Peace and love.
Give me your all hugs this morning.
Love.
Keep doing what